been a couple of months since we've done a CEX Rarities episode. Let's compare prices from February on certain games. Welcome to PS Too Many Games.
PS Too Many Games.
Hello guys, welcome to PS Too Many Games. Welcome back to a CEX Rarity episode. So basically, for those who've never seen one before, every 2 to 3 months I basically go through all the rarities I've got and if they've gone up in price in the last 2 months or they've gone down in price the last 2 months. Because as we know, the CEX Rarities system is somewhat confusing and ever since it's turned up, all the prices have just gone through the roof. We go through what's fair price increases and what is frankly taking the piss. But before we do that, I mentioned last episode I've got a new whiteboard because you can barely see the 1827. We certainly have increased it. Behold, the new whiteboard, 1829. Obviously, consequently, the last episode we got Aston Villa and Wing Generation, so 1829. Problem with that is, I don't know if it will fit. It's gone down. It was almost like it was planned. We're currently sitting at 1829 PS2 games, not including like special editions, steelbooks, and vice versa. So we're chugging along this month. We've been chugging pretty strong. We're still in the month of April as of recording. We're going to just go straight into this episode because, quite frankly, we've got a lot of games to go through. I don't want it to be a massive episode, so we will start. 2 months ago, you might remember Ninebreaker came down in price to £100. It is still £100 with manual. Hilarious because it's only been maybe over a year, maybe 16 months to bought it, and obviously, as you can see, I bought it for £55. People say, why do I keep stickers on the rarities? I do it because I can prove, like, roughly when I bought it, how much I paid for it, and how much it is now. Ever since the rarity system turned up, these price increases have been quite noticeable. Menu still £100, no price increase in that one. Stagnation, if you will. As I stated last time, its sister, Armored Core 3, once again come down in price. You paid £50 2 months ago, now you're paying £45 with manual, obviously. These are all with manuals. I can't go for mint because not all these games are mint, but they've all got manuals. This game fluctuates all the bloody time. I've seen it as high as 60 quid before the rarities. I've seen it as low as 30 quid before the rarities. I think the lowest they go down to in the rarity system is 40 quid. So this is basically bottom of the pile. It keeps coming down. For those of you who want to get this game sooner rather than later, the time might be now because it's not going to get that much cheaper. Ultimate Edition next. Now, if you remember, like late last year, this went up to about £50 with manual. Bear in mind, the year before, you can get it for a solid £20. Massive increase. Then 2 months ago, they brought it down to £45 just to see if people would buy it. Apparently, they did because this has gone back up to £50 with manual. £50 for Ultimate Edition really is fucking steep, and it's a very good game, Capcom game. We'll get to it in more detail when I do the Capcom episode for PS2 Capcom games, which is coming, by the way. It is coming. But £50 is a bit steep, and I probably... How can I put this? When I paid £20, I felt that's about right. £50, yeah, it's still taking the piss. Caustic Virus, which used to be £75, then they dropped it to £70 in February, is still coming down in price. £62 for this horror-based game. When I got this at a local shop. I didn't pay more than £10 for this. This came... Well, actually, no, that's a lie. Forgive me. This came part of a bundle I bought on eBay. Not an expensive bundle, just a bundle of games. In the last 2 to 3 years, this has gone up significantly in price. And the only reason for that is it's horror. And anything horror-based PS2 will go up in price, unless it's sold in the multiple thousands. Resident Evil 4, for instance. People say, well, Silent Hill 2 sold the shit out of games. In fact, it's got its own platinum. Yes, because it's a cult classic. That's a cult series. Anything Silent Hill will always be expensive because people love that series. But generally, anything that sells in massive numbers won't ever be expensive because you can get a copy anytime you want. It's just cult followers like Silent Hill franchise. Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 said it in one go. That's still expensive because that's probably one of the best Dragon Ball Z fighting games ever made. Till this day. Fight me on that. I will fight you on that. But anyway, this is coming down in price, so just keep an eye on this because I don't know how far it's going to come down, but anyone who's interested, £62 for CEX at the moment, it's going the right way. It's going the right way. Well, I was told by my friend who worked for CEX that the majority of them will be coming down in the next 2 months. I haven't checked the prices before doing this. I'm literally going by the crow. I've written this all down. So we'll see if that's true or not. He's right more than he's wrong. I mean, he has been wrong with certain things, but he's been right more than he's been wrong. So whenever my friend gives me information, I present it. And if he's made mistakes, that's just happens. I'm not saying this is factual. This is like 100% factual, but most things he's told me about CEX, like systems they're introducing, they've been real. They've happened. And obviously, I mentioned in the last episode that he's given me a list of all the stores owned by the company, and the list is about, I believe, the list is quite substantial. I think vast majority, like they're all owned by the company, but I think there's a couple missing off it because investigated. But yeah, he's not 100%. It's all the information he's trying to find out through the company. I will say one thing though, on that list, if I do show that list one day, I'll just splice a little bit. For instance, for anyone who lives in the like East Anglia area, like I do, CEX is right. Lowestoft and Kings Lynn CEXs are owned by the company, whereas Norwich and Great Yarmouth CEXs are franchises. Now, for anyone who's kept tabs on the history of this channel, I quite enjoy going to Great Yarmouth and Norwich CEXs. They've always got good service, whereas Kings Lynn's quality control is questionable. And Lowestoft I've only been twice, and they always got that weird vibe. And that was the place where I heard one of the staff members talk about axi-vaxxing during COVID times. Like after COVID, it's like vaxxers, they're all con. Ever since then, I've always had a feeling of, yeah. I mean, I might have been a customer, but I thought that was a staff member. I could be wrong. Anyway, what I'm basically saying is, from what I've learnt so far about franchises to like stores owned by the company, seems so far franchises do better quality control than the company does for East Anglia. I will go through the list fully one day. But anyway, back to this. Last time I mentioned the game Baroque, which isn't a brilliant game. They were valuing this at £155 with manual, which was fucking steep. Still is, by the way. It has come down in price. £140 you'd be paying for manual, which is still incredibly steep for this game, but less steep. £140 for this is asking a lot. It's not even that good of a game, I'll be honest. Some people say it's awesome. It's like average, maybe? Average to good at a good day, but it's like £140 worth? Fuck no. I'm talking about games that have literally not increased in price or decreased for the last 4 months. We're talking Castlevania. Still £62 with manual for this. Ever since I've been collecting for the last 2 years, the lowest has been is £40. So it's not a massive increase. I still justify this because the Castlevania games are actually quite good on PS2. We own both of them. I need to start really playing them like one by one again to get the feel. But £62 for this? Yeah, okay. That gets a pass. Where its brother and more expensive version, Castlevania Curse of Darkness, is still sitting at £120. Has not gone up or down in the last 2 months. Now, if you notice so far in all the games I've talked through, there's not been many price increases. There's been a lot of stagnation, but there's been like more decreases so far. I'm going to go through the whole collection bit by bit, but I'm just going for the games from last episode where I mentioned to see how much they've fluctuated. Then we'll go for all the other games I own to see how much you would pay a CEX. Understand, guys? And I don't know why I'm giving you the Shaka Bra, but it's happened. Shaka Bra! Shaka Bra! The next game I'm a bit sad about. King of Fighters Ultimate Master 98. Right, okay. So, last year, like early in the year last year, this was valued at £150 with manual. I shit you not. Then it came down significantly over the months, and I waited, and I waited. And for those who remember, I bought it like early this year or late last year for £90. I had vouchers, so I never actually paid the full £90, like £32. Anyway, I felt happy about myself, because in February, this went back up to £95. So I struck at the perfect time. No, because now this has come down to £85. This is nearly halved in price in about a year's time. That is massive depreciation. For anyone who ever paid £150 for CEX for this, at its peak, you got fucked. Oh my god. So this is the lowest I've ever seen at £85. Honestly, if anyone needs this for their collection, strike now, because £85 is the lowest it's been. And if you like King of Fighters games, get it for the collection. Stagnation for Clock Tower 3. This is still £72 at the CEX for a manual, but obviously I paid 40 for it like a year and a half ago. It went down to £30 at one point after that, and ever since the rarities turned up, it is like if any game is the personifications of what the rarity system has done for pricing, it's Clock Tower 3. It was no more than £40 before the rarity system, and as soon as the rarity system turned up, they gave them justification to increase the price to £72. This is not that rare of a horror game, and £72 still feels a bit steep. But it is a good game, so pickers can't be choosers. Game that's also stagnated, still £90, Project Zero 2. This at its cheapest was £60 like in the last year or so. So this is one of those games once again that is a price increase that is actually reasonably understandable. I believe I still need Project Zero 3. I think I do. I think it's like £150 at CEX with manual these days. So that's one of the games I still need. So we have not finished the Project Zero franchise yet. So until I get number 3, I'm not going to play it yet. Well, by that I mean is I've played this one, I played the first one, but I would like to play the last one. Once again, good horror games, but the prices. This game, 10,000 bullets. Last 2 months ago in February, this was £150 with manual. It has come down to £135. So yet again, another game coming down. Still a lot of money though. Still a lot of money, and it is a reasonably rare game. It took me ages to get this. I got this in a bundle, which I bought from a friend from Carlisle. Still saddens me that the original person only paid a tenner for this. Hilarious. But if you notice so far, and I'm not picking random games, I'm going to go through the whole rarity system I've got. We're getting more decreases than we are increases, which is fucking about time. And that makes no English sense. Me not speaking English. Me fail English? That's impossible.
Mrs. Krabappel and Principal Skinner were in the closet making babies, and I saw one of the babies, and the baby looked at me.
So we now get to the game where the manual was worth just as much as the game was originally, Manhunt 2. You're still going to pay £105 for this game, apparently. But there's a slight difference. Now the manualless version, no manual, is now £65. So the manual has actually lost value. The manual used to cost just about the same as the game. Now the manual's only cost £40. I still can't believe there was a point where the manual cost more than the game. For those who don't realise, was it last year? It was £105 with manual, and without the manual it was only 50 quid. So by that mathematics, CEX said the manual was worth £55 by itself, and the game was only worth 50 quid. Remember that. The no manual prices, between manual prices, actually is still kind of disgusting. But anyway, that's still the same price, another stagnation price. Now, I'm not going to go through the rest of the games what I did last episode. We're now just going to go from A to Z of all the rarities I own. We're going to tell you the price of them, and I'm going to just give a rough opinion on pricing. So get ready for the quick fire round, Dave, since you're editing this one, because it's going to be a painful edit for you, my friend. But we'll see you on the other side of this commercial break.
Rated T for Teen.
Yes! Wanna go again? There we go. Another one? Again? Keep playing? One more? Another one? Yes! Wanna go again? Yeah!
Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 has online for Wii, Disc Fusion for the PlayStation 2 computer entertainment system, and over 150 playable characters. How long will you play?
Wanna go again?
Huh? What? Where?
In stores now.
Cramp. Oh.
Here we go, let's just do this. Altered Beast became a rarity in the last 6 months. I didn't even notice it. £45 for this? I think I paid like 20, 30 quid like a year ago. It's not even that good of a game. So, too expensive. Needs to come down. A game that reminds me of bad deals. I can't pronounce this. Artenelico 2. It's an RPG. I paid £90 at last level games, but about 2 years ago now. Jesus, I think this is like the first big expensive game I bought for the channel, You know what I mean? You're now paying £65 for this at CEX. This has come down significantly in the last 2 years. So, mistakes were made, but £65, if anyone's interested, I would get it for £65. I really would. Blood Will Tell, £120 with manual. When the fuck this happened? I swear I bought this for like less than £100, but like 90 quid from CEX. Holy shit, 120 quid for this? I mean, it's a decent game, but fuck no. Dragon Blaze, had this for a long time. £105 with the manual. At one point, it's like 150. This was like really expensive games. That's come down in price too. Is it worth the £105? Well, I only can go on based on like get prices from like 2 years ago, like when things were peaked. This was before the rarity system, by the way. So £105? Yeah, it's come down. So if you go for a full collection, that's not actually a bad price. I can't believe I'm saying that. Dragon Ball Z Infinite. Fuck it, Infinity World or Infinite World. What the fuck? I don't give a fuck. £75. I paid 50 for this. I got it as part of a bundle. I'll be honest, too expensive. £75 for this, not worth it. If it was Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, maybe. But no, too expensive. What planet is this worth less than the Infinite World? £68 for the manual version of Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. I have all 3 versions of this, including a special edition. £68. It is. How can I put this? It's always been £55. It's only gone up mildly in the last 2.5 years. You know what? Probably one of the few rarities I would probably say, yeah, it's probably worth the price if you're a hardcore fighting fan. If you like Dragon Ball Z, this is easily the best old school Dragon Ball Z fighting game. And it was the best fighting game until the fighting game from 4 years ago came out, the cel-shaded graphics one. I think they're still playing it at like fighting tournaments. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. I'm sorry. I'm mentally failing. Dragon Guard 2, I paid £50. It's still £50 for a manual. So, to be honest, if I've paid that, acceptable? That gets a pass. Earache Extreme Metal Racing, £45 with a manual. I paid less for that at Game Market. £45? Yeah, probably is worth it, because it might sound stupid. This is rarer than most of the more expensive games. I only seen one copy of this at the Game Market. That's why I bought it. Plus, it's got some good music on there, I've been told. I haven't played it yet. It's on the list. Echo Night Beyond, £135 with manual. This is one of the games I bought from Retro Chef a long time ago. I think it's roughly the same price it was then. It was 3 figures then. So that's a mild increase or slight decrease. I think it's gone up slightly in price. So, you know what? That's acceptable growth. Anything like 10% over 2 years, that's acceptable. £42 for Fire Pro Wrestling. Fire Pro Wrestling is probably the best non-WWE/WCW wrestling game ever made. I think the more recent one's very good too, but yeah, this is actually shockingly good. £42, I actually would happily pay £42 for this. It's one of those games where I would. People always say, for anyone who's curious, what's your favourite wrestling game for the past? How can I put this? It's hard getting past the N64 wrestling games because they played so well and still do to this day. If it wasn't for like the WWF No Mercy glitch on the cart, it would probably be the best one, but I think NWO Revenge is probably the best one. Fuck you motherfuckers. And we finally get to the game that nearly broke me. Remember, I paid £50 for this like a year and a half ago, and now this is worth 160 quid manualed. Fucking ridiculous. This was 175 at one point. Yes, it's a good game, but what the fuck happened in like 2 years to triple the price of this? There must be like a mad rush for Forbidden Siren II. Still not worth that, by the way. Never worth 160 quid. Good game though. God Hand, I literally bought this last month for £92. It's still £92. A little expensive for my liking, but when you get to the nitty gritty, sometimes you just got to bear it and just pay the piper. Still have not played this, is on the list. I can't give an opinion on this, but I've been told it's a very good game, so maybe it's worth it for some. At this point, we mentioned obviously Gun Club. Actually, with manual, Gun Club's come down significantly. I think it's like $650 with the manual, because I think it was $800 at one point. That's progress. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone now at 70 quid. That's the steepest I've seen it. £50 has been averaging for a long time, but now it's £70. No, I can't in good conscience make it's not worth it. Especially when the PS1 version is not worth anything at all. I think it's because it's got like a limited release. I'm not entirely sure. £155 for Halting Grounds. Remember, about 3 years ago, this was worth about 20 quid a ham sandwich. Now it's worth £155. At a gaming market a year and a half ago, I paid 70, I think it was. There was the Norwich Gaming Market, the last good one before they changed company, and now we've got this setup, which is pretty good still, but you know what I mean. Yes, £155 for this. It's just not justifiable. But it is horror, it is Capcom, it is niche. You play as a little girl and a dog. Some people like that. Oh, good lord. It's different. I think that's what it is. It's different. I'm running out of time. It's supposed to take less than 40 minutes. At the moment, we're sitting at 38 minutes on the counter. So we're going to like fast-pace certain games right now. Metal Gear Slug Anthology, £60 with manual. Little steep. Little steep. Little steep. Mr. Mosquito, £60 with manual. I got this in game market like 50 quid, so it's not a mult. It's acceptable. Game I bought from Caustic Virus like last month, Space Channel Part 2, that's got a massively in price. It's like an £80 game now for manual. I think I bought it at the right time, let's put it that way. Soul Nomad and Wild Eaters even, that's still £65, that's still coming down. That was once an £80 game. That Space War Attack, which I think I literally, sorry, because I sort out all my games in one go. Like when I get like 40 games, I sort them because it takes fucking ages. It's still on my sort pile there, but that is like an £80 game. So that used to be 3 figures. So that's come down. What you're basically seeing here, and I'm just going through random games I own now because I'm running out of time. Majority of them have come down slightly, but the niche ones are still going up and still going up at a shockingly fast rate. But it's give or take. It's give or take, but. I mean, but there's certain games that are never ever going to come down in price. Like the Rule of Rose only came down in price because they found a fucking warehouse in Italy, and they just the market got swarmed with these games. Now the European version is like, if you're paying more than £200 for the European version, it's a bit much. Wild Arms 5, where is it? Here it is. This is now a £180 game. This keeps going up. It's going to be 200 easily soon. But yeah, it's a really rare game. It is. There's not many games on the PS2 above 200 quid. Let's go with that one. I'm just going to, because I've not got time, it's going to take another 20 to 30 minutes to do it, and I don't think you want to sit here watching a 4-hour episode. In the future, when I do this, I will actually pre-plan ahead. I kind of forgot how many rarities I now kind of own. We're over halfway through the rarities. But I will start with, so let's finish with this. So these are all the games worth over £200 at CEX. There's not many. And apart from Rule of Rose, we don't own any of them. So anyway, all 3 versions of Silent Hill Shattered Memories. The BBFC version, the PEGI version, and the European version. The European version is pretty much, I think, the PEGI version just from Europe, so it's cheaper. I've said this before, and I'll say it again, I will try to aim to get both the BBC and the PEGI version. Depending on which version the European version is, I'll be getting that one for the PEGI. So I'm going to get at least 2 of those 3 games. That will happen. Samurai Western, which I've been told is an awesome game. That's 240 quid with manual. I've not seen one copy of that yet. We will try and find it. Now here comes the one that's going to be very hard to find. The Getaway Limited Edition. There was only 1,000 of these games made. That's like, I think, 250. Or like £200 with manual. But there's only 1,000 made. So that should tell you how rare that fucker is. Armored Core Last Raven has gone up through the fucking roof in price. Like 280 quid for that. Is that the best Armored Core game, people? Because I'm not an Armored Core fan. I like it in bits and droves, but 280 quid? Fucking hell! Then you got the big 3, because Rule of Rose is no longer part of the big 3. Kuon, Michigan Report from Hell, and Gun Club. So what's that? 7 games over £200 at CEX sells. And obviously that doesn't include the games they don't sell. Like Monster Egg, which in any auction online will go for multiple thousands. Trust me, if we get to the point where Monster Egg's like one of 3 games left, we will diverge for a long time until, because there's one game that's going to be impossible to find for a decent price, or it's going to take me literally months to save to even attempt to buy it, it is Monster Egg. That's the game that's going to fucking wreck us. But like anything at CEX, feasibly with the right amount of savings, I can just buy like that. But it's going to take months of savings. Gun Club's going to take months of savings. Kuon, with the right price for certain people, I probably through like a month of savings can snap it. Same with Report Michigan from Hell. Everything else I can do on a whim, but it's going to be a very expensive whim to buy any of the other games over £200 just like that. I try to make sure, simply put, never spend more than you earn. It might sound incredibly stupid, and there's some months that's impossible, with credit cards obviously, but if you can succeed, if you can spend less than you earn, more months than you spend more than you earn, you're on the right path to success. But as we all know, life's hard. Anyway, I've really got sidetracked. Anyway, thank you for this hodgepodge of a CEX Rarities episode. Long story short, I would say over half of them have come down in price, mild decreases. And a good amount of them are stagnated and some of them come up. So they have pulled back a little, but they're still expensive. They're still really forcing me to pay prices I shouldn't be paying for games 2 years ago. And obviously, and I have noted this, Gear Markets is by far my number one place to buy things now. Because I rarely pay CX prices at Game Market. I always seem to get discounts or find something cheaper. But then again, CX do find games I've never seen before, and I just buy it because if you don't buy it then, you might not see it for another year. And I want to make one thing perfectly clear, because there's one person viewing this right now. Coraline is still £95 in manual. I really don't want to pay £95 for Coraline, but I might have to. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Have fun editing this, Dave. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.